Is the product actually too expensive, or are the sales guys just not able to sell? Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. I am Neil Winteregg, joined as always by Dr. Greg Winteregg, CEO of Matterhorn Business Development and author. You can find out more about his book down below. On this channel, we like to give educational advice to business owners or salesmen or any entrepreneurs that are out there. So if you're new to the channel here, please consider subscribing and staying up to date with what we do. We do 3 videos a week. And right now, being the holiday season and we've got 2021 right around the corner, we're actually going back through a couple of our older videos to kind of revisit some topics about selling and about making money. And so today you have a topic that you wanted to go over.
Well, you know, it's usually the first objection when you're trying to sell someone something is that's too much money. Your prices are high. I've checked around town and yeah, I don't know, you're out of the ballpark here. And so I want to talk about that today because it is a very typical objection. And as the business owner, if your sales reps don't know how to handle this objection, they're going to come back, they're going to complain, and then you could start walking around and looking at your staff or your partner and go, our prices too high? Like, should we really lower our prices? No, the answer is no. Handle your sales force. Train them how to handle this objection. So for me, number one is the sales rep needs to believe in the product. Number one. The sales rep has to believe that the product is actually worth what they are trying to sell it for. Now, if they don't think it's worth that, then that's on you, the owner. And so you either have to make the product worth it if they actually are legit and the product isn't, and you are trying to make a profit by downgrading the quality. But I have found that's usually not the situation. The majority of the time is the sales rep just doesn't know how to handle the objection. I think that's too much money. Now, Neil, you've had that one thrown in your face a lot. So how do you handle that? You really believe in what you're selling. Mm-hmm. You believe it's worth it. It's a quality item and it's completely priced properly. And it may even be at the top end of the scale. So how do you handle that's too much money?
Well, either I have to continue to enlighten the person on the product and the benefits about why it is that much money, or there's something underlying it that is creating that effect. Recently, I talked to somebody about a product or service for their industry. I gave them the price and they almost fell over. They told me that nobody would be willing to pay those prices. Meanwhile, I have many clients that think it's a great value of the price. So what I realized here though was that this wasn't actually a pricing issue, but this was a problem that this person was having where they weren't gonna be a prospect for me either way, but also they had internal problems going on. And so when I started asking more and more questions, because I said, well, if I do X, Y, and Z, you should be able to make this much money as a result of that. And they said, no, that's not possible. I said, okay, well, why isn't that possible? And they started telling me problems in their business that told me that they had no idea what they were doing.
And if that person would have paid, they would have just been a pain in the butt.
Well, they would have been a pain in the butt because they wouldn't have been making as much revenue as they should have.
Right.
They don't know what they're doing internally. So when I look at from it's too expensive, either they're doing something wrong or they just aren't interested in the product or don't really need the product. So I start to figure out, is there something else that I can do to get them to understand the value? Or in the case of this guy, I said, you know what, you're right. It's not for you. It is expensive. And I hung up the phone and left.
Right. So, and we can put other videos down in the description below, but 20% of the population is trouble. So typically this fellow, he's trouble as a customer, he's trouble as a client. He has trouble in his business. He's kind of like a trouble person. But your sales reps need to be able to answer that and come back with value, just like Neil did. Listen, okay, you pay this much money, this is going to be your return on investment on this product or on this service. So the sales reps, have to believe in it. You, as the owner, have to be sure that you are providing the value that is worth it. And then you have to really, just like Neil described, you have to really break it down. So what is the problem? How could this product or service solve that problem for you? And then this would be the end result. And after explaining it to them, they are still completely going to be right. You're too expensive, you're outrageous, you're ridiculous. Then you do exactly what Neil did and you walk away. So that's our tip for the day on it's too much money. I hope this has been helpful.